வணக்கம், விஜய் அசோகன் பேசுகிறேன், ஸ்வீடனிலிருந்து.
சுரேஷ் ஹங்கரிலிருந்து பேசுகிறேன்.
நான் இத்தாலியிலிருந்து தர்சன் பேசுகின்றேன்.
என் பெயர் நித்யானந்தம், மொரீசியஸ் நாட்டிலிருந்து பேசுகின்றேன்.
நான் கவீனம், லண்டன்லேருந்து பேசுகிறேன்.
சிவானந்தன், ஜகார்த்தா, இந்தோனேஷியாவிலிருந்து பேசுகிறேன்.
இன்று கொரோனாவை ஒழிக்கும் பொறுப்பு நம்ம எல்லோருக்கும் இருக்கு.
அரசு சொல்வது போல் அனைவரும் வீட்டில் இருங்கள்.
அவசியம் இல்லாமல் வீட்டை விட்டு வெளியே செல்லக்கூடாது.
சமூக இடைவெளியை பின்பற்றுவோம்.
கைகளை நல்ல சோப்பு நீரினால் கழுவ வேண்டும்.
முக்கியமாக அரசுக்கு ஒத்துழைப்பு தர வேண்டும்.
உலகத் தமிழராய் ஒன்றுணைவோம், கொரோனாவை வெல்லுவோம்.
Dear friends, I am very much glad to see all of you gathered here with the noble aim of hearing something about spiritual development. The spiritual knowledge is very important to make our life perfect and to maintain peace in the life of one and all on the globe. This great organization UNO has been started and is functioning only with the aim of establishing peace among mankind. In both political and economic fields, the UNO strives hard to bring peace. It is a noble scheme to bring the representatives of all nations under one roof and make them think about international peace, which is the only hope of survival of mankind against the dangerous atomic weapons. The world of philosophical wisdom and intellectuals of international thought will appreciate the useful works of UNO. Spiritual knowledge development. Here I have to point out one more thing which is also very much important for peace. That is the development of spiritual knowledge among mankind. Of course, material comforts are essential for a peaceful life, but without spiritual knowledge, material comforts alone will not bring satisfaction or peace in life. Here I will give an example. Food, shelter and clothes are important commodities and materials comforts. Please visualize the whole world and the available stocks of these three main commodities. The clothes in stock at present will be sufficient for the next 2 years for all people, even though the whole world stops production at once. Similarly, the present stock of food will be sufficient for 1 year. If the shelters are restricted to the area of actual need, no one in the world will have to suffer for want of a shelter. With some persons and with some countries these commodities may be less, and with others, they are in surplus. The development of spiritual knowledge only will enable mankind to share all the needs with love, respect and responsibility. The love which blossoms in a man as a natural process by spiritual development will enable him to understand the feelings of others, to respect the needs and ambitions of others and to cooperate in the effort of satisfactory living by willing sacrifice on one's own physical, financial and intellectual abilities. Therefore, in addition to the efforts for increasing the material comforts by political and economic means, an opportunity for spiritual development in the human society should be provided so that all deserving persons will develop spiritual knowledge in time. Let us consider, what is spiritual development? In the process of living, the mind is the nucleus and important phenomenon. When one understands the values and wonders of the mind, he can enjoy life successfully and happily. Life force and mind. As the mind is only the psychic extension of the life force, it is imperative first to know about the life force, which is the base of the mind. The life force and the mind both are secret phenomena in the personality of man. These cannot be understood by any of our conventional 5 senses. It is only by systematic psychic practice, with the mind tracing its own base, the existence and functions of both the life force and the mind and their relationship with one another can be understood. Such a psychic practice is called meditation or Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini is the name of the fundamental supreme universal energy, the divine spirit. The life force in any living being is a part and parcel of the universal force, which governs the universal functions. In fact, it is the association of such force, energy particles, in various intensities that conditions all the manifestations. Therefore, it is to be understood that the spirit is the basic principle of all the physical manifestations as well as the psychic function, the mind. Realization of the spirit, its existence, functions and results is spiritual knowledge or wisdom. This is the science of all sciences. Living with material knowledge alone is a one-sided load to the mind. For a balanced life, spiritual knowledge also is a must. Realization of life force. How to realize the spirit within us, which is working as the life force. Although the life force is pervading the entire body, it has a working center in a particular place in the physical body. Generally, the working center of the life force is at the base of the spine, which is called Muladhara by ancient yogis. Unless this center is changed from Muladhara to Agna Chakra, the point between the eyebrows, the presence of the life force cannot be perceived by the mind. The ancient yogis tried to change the center by breathing exercises or by chanting mantras. Both the methods were strenuous and time-consuming. Many years were required to bring the energy up. Meanwhile, if the energy got stuck up on the way, the aspirant had to suffer from some ill effects too. Therefore, family people could not practice and get the benefit of this yoga. Now, we have found out a safe, sure and quick method to bring up the working center of the life force. A master trained in Kundalini Yoga can easily intensify the life force of an aspirant within minutes and bring it up by a touch method. After the master has fixed up the working center of Kundalini power, the aspirant has to simply observe the force of the power mentally. This process becomes meditation. Mere observation of the force mentally develops awareness of the mind, conserves the life force from wastage, and improves steadiness and peace of mind. By the mind observing its own base, the existence and functions of both the life force and mind and the relationship between them will be understood as practical experience. Activating the life force, the Kundalini power, from Muladhara and fixing it up at the Agna center of an aspirant by an eminent master is the initiation. This is the first step in spiritual practice. There are some other practices which are to be learnt and followed one by one. We, the members of the World Community Service Center, call this Kundalini meditation as Simplified Kundalini Yoga, SKY. Simplified Kundalini Yoga. SKY has 4 processes on the whole. They are 1. Meditation, 2. Introspection, 3. Sublimation, and 4. Perfection. Meditation develops willpower and peace of mind. Introspection enlightens the knowledge and guides one as a light. The process of sublimation metamorphoses the character by gradual changes in one's habits. Perfection is the fruit and significance of spiritual development. The full course of SKY can be completed in 10 sittings of 1 hour each. Dear friends, man is a particular living being who is always struggling between habit and wisdom. After he is developed in thinking abilities, only through a systematic spiritual practice he can achieve the goal of perfection. The aim of the World Community Service Center is to spread spiritual knowledge to the people of all nations. After a long period of research over 40 years of my life, I found out that only spiritual knowledge will result in peace, within the self, in the society and among nations. I formulated a safe and perfect method for spiritual development and am teaching it to deserving persons. I am ready to impart my knowledge to any friends who is willing to undergo the wonderful psychic practice SKY. With these words, I conclude my speech and wish all of you good health, long life, prosperity and peace.